Okay, so before I start this video, if any of you aren't going to take action and aren't actually going to start towards your goals, then I don't feel bad for you. You have to take action towards your goals if you want to see change. So if you're not going to do that, then I would click off this video. Okay, because the people who waste their time watching this entire video through just to not take action, you're not going to get anywhere. Now that we got that out of the way, for the people who are going to take action, I'm going to explain to you the few fundamental rules that make you a successful person. Okay, so the first rule is to go to bed and wake up at the exact same time every single day. Now, here's where the problem starts. If you're waking up at 10 a.m. on the weekends and then at 7 a.m. on the weekdays, you have a major issue. And especially, I know you guys for a fact stay up late on the weekends. So if you're doing that, whether you have work, whether you have school, wherever it may be, I would highly recommend going to bed at a decent time on the weekends because then you won't feel droopy throughout the week. You won't feel tired, you won't feel lazy, you won't procrastinate as much because you'll actually mentally have the energy and the capacity to do more things. Okay, and I promise you, you'll feel much better. Okay, and it also shows discipline. Okay, when you mentally choose to start taking action and actually going to bed at a decent time, waking up at a decent time, then that shows that you're actually being disciplined, and that is an easy way. That is an instant thing you could do to take action to your goals. So I promise you, if you do that, you'll feel much better. Okay, so the second rule is to do the difficult thing before the easy thing. Now, I don't care how I'm feeling. I don't care how you're feeling either. And neither does anybody else. Okay, no one else cares about how you're feeling. They might care about how they themselves are feeling, but that's honestly a weak mentality. So what you have to understand is you have to choose the hard path before the easy path. If even choosing the easy path at all in the first place, I wouldn't choose the easy path at all because I think choosing the easy path in any situation is always not the right decision. 99% of the time, the hard path is the right path. So you have to do the hard thing first all the time, if even doing the easy thing afterwards at all. Okay, now I'll give you an analogy right now. Let's say I choose to scroll on TikTok or scroll on YouTube Shorts before making my video. I'm technically giving the people around me, the competition around me, more views by doing that. And as a result, that's technically going to make it more difficult for me, even if it's by the slightest amount, the 0.001% amount. It's still going to not help me. It's still going to cause it to be more difficult for me to get more views because then I'll do it afterwards and then I'll post later, which will also give me less views because I'm kind of later about it. It's just not really going to help me as much. So what you have to do is you have to choose the difficult path first because there's a lot of competition out there. It's all competition. Okay, every other guy you're going, there's plenty of people out there who want the same goal that you want and want to achieve the same thing that you want. It's just a matter of if you're willing to put in more effort than them. Because if you are, then you will end up achieving your goals. So that means choosing the hard path versus the easy path and choosing the hard path first. Okay, so the third rule is to continue working towards your goals no matter how boring it feels. Okay, so when you're working towards getting a good physique, okay, you have to consistently go to the gym, consistently eat the same healthy food over and over and over again, repetitively. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. It's always going to be the same. That's just how it works. And it's the same thing with working towards getting a YouTube channel. I have to upload every 2 to 3 days, right? And I have to upload similar videos, similar content because that's like my niche, right? It's the same concept, right? So it might feel quote unquote boring. Okay, now that is normal. It's always going to be boring to work towards making an interesting life. That is always how it's going to be. Now, what doesn't have to be boring is your actual life itself. Okay, you can choose to take action on asking out that girl. You can choose to say something nice to someone. You can choose to make some new friends. You can choose to do all of these things or make something interesting happen in your day. It's going to completely be your fault if that doesn't happen. Okay, if you're sad about one of these things or something along those lines, I'm sorry, it's your fault because you haven't taken action. Okay, I can't help you if you haven't taken action. You have to take action on your goals. You have to take action towards talking to someone, wherever it may be. Okay, because throughout your day-to-day life, if it's boring, that is completely your fault. What's not your fault is if it's boring to go to the gym because that's how it's supposed to be. No, it's not supposed to be fun. Okay, it's not supposed to be all great. I mean, some people like going to the gym like me. Okay, but if you don't like going to the gym, it doesn't matter. Okay, no one cares. All right, absolutely no one cares. I don't care. No one else cares. And even your parents probably don't really care that much because guess what? It doesn't matter. Okay, if you want to get a good physique, you're gonna have to go to the gym. Okay, so you have to start going to the gym anyways, no matter how you're feeling. Okay, that it's a simple concept. So you have to discipline yourself and do these things. Okay, so the fourth and final rule is to always expect best. I don't care what situation it is. I don't care how difficult it is. I don't care if the most worst, horrible things happen. I don't care because you know what? I always expect the best. Okay, I always know something good is going to happen afterwards. Okay, so if you expect the bad stuff's going to happen. And as a result, it's going to end up bringing you down because you're going to constantly be thinking about the negative, bad stuff. which will also bring you down, your mental mindset and the exterior stuff that's happening. So you can either decide to do that, or you can mentally take control of your mind and think about what you want and set it towards what you want. Now that is going to make you a very successful person. That is one of the most important things, if not the most important thing in becoming successful. So if you mentally think about and focus your mind on what you want to achieve and think about the good things, don't think about the bad stuff, focus on the good stuff, and always expect the best, you will end up getting the best, and you'll end up being able to put in more effort and be willing to put in more effort as a result. So if you start doing that, I promise you, you will end up becoming successful. It's inevitable. Okay, if you start thinking that way, it's going to happen. Okay, because people are going to like you because you're going to be a positive person. You're going to be thinking about the right things, and as a result, good things are going to come into your life. Besides that, and on top of that, you're going to be mentally putting in as much effort as possible and physically putting in as much effort as possible. So that's all I wanted to talk about today, guys. I thank you guys so much for the support. Other than that, that's about it. Thanks for watching.